1 2 1 2 coming through 1 2 1 2 Mike. First and foremost, I like to say, welcome to Facts of Life, the podcast. You know you rocking with the homie Dave. First time ever we have this many chairs. We never had this many chairs. I hope to fill all of these chairs by the end of this segment. We'll see how it go. We'll see how everything flow. It's different, you know. I got some enjoyments and some excitements. It's some ones that I love that's gonna be here. So that's gonna be dope. It's gonna be beautiful. Um I'm appreciative to see how this is about to flow out. Uh, it should be very, very interesting. All of that good shit. And I hope right now at this moment, because my nephew is mic'd up, I'm curious to see what all that we're catching right now from him on the inside. You know what I mean? So it'll be funny and cool if me and him both talking over each other right now. This would be funny as hell. But I love you, man. More and more and more and more and more. For sure, for sure, for sure. See what we get. We just vibing out, playing around, you know. So like that things are like that. That things be like that. Um,
But isn't that our? It's like it's one whole thing with fate. Like is fate set, or do we create our own? But if we create our own,
do we create our own fate? Is that your question?
it's
Like, or
not.
not? Like, is that your
It's
thought?
more of like what I'm
Is
trying
that
to
your thought? Is that
understand.
your
Like,
like? Yeah, it's like that's, and it's okay to have those questions for yourself.
but
Like,
yeah,
or
do we
for the
create our
you.
own
Like,
fate?
do you think? What do you think?
Like my whole thing, I feel like a lot of stuff is already a base. What if fate is the whole process? Like I don't know, people said that would be like fate is already set, already. And what if fate is like the whole process, the whole thing, how you end up being created? Like not set, it's not created by nothing.
But the actions you continually do.
Yeah, it's a
You,
process.
that's what I. That's. It's my question, but that's what I agree. Your actions is what creates your fate. What you continually and habitually do will determine where you end up.
It's like playing a game with infinite like choices, and then how the ending is depends on you. That's what it is. Like there's no set ending.
What you created?
Yeah,
I like that.
each choice is like another branch. Branch off the whole other stories, and that's the crazy part. It's like, damn, what we had what they did. Do that can lend to something else. Like it's very conversation like these.
It's a whole paradox of things, though.
Yeah, conversation like these going to infinite possibility. Like that don't like it used to be something scary sitting there thinking about like these questions that have no real answer. I be saying think sometimes about like racing, like you know how people say it's something I've been saying. It hit me one time. I've been saying that ever since. Cause like it makes sense to me, but at the same time, it doesn't. Cause what really makes sense? Like you know how every religion got like basic word, right? Yeah. So we must all know how we get here and how we had to. It's always like the way they say it. It's always like a blank paper and they go like big bang, like the big bang, like still coffee on the thing. That's the picture.
That's the picture.
The concrete. I'm not really like God.
Yeah, like
What is my thing is what it never blend together with what this always what it was. Nobody creates. Right. Like it takes me like a while to sit and think about it before I really believe it. Every time I see it, it takes me a while to think about my belief. That's how open conversation is with never a blank paper.
so. I like. I literally love how you say that, and I like how that. Like I that literally just like it resonates so much because it's like it reminds me of this book I was reading. Um, and in that book, it kind of like it's saying that, like it's saying like how nothing is something. Like
Yeah.
and we forget so much that how nothing is something, and it's like it's and sometimes it's more than enough, and it's more than what we were even beginning to expect. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's interesting that you just put it that way because it's like, yeah, what if that is how it is? Like, a lot of people look at me crazy or look at me strangely when I say this to people, but I'm like, I feel like we are the guys that we speak of. Like, we all have the capabilities to be those things. Now, are we all moving as such and being as such? No. Um, you know, but we all have the capabilities to be and to like be of and shit like that. What you doing? You pulling up? Um, but yeah, like so it's like we all have the capabilities of being. And it's like, what if you right? What if that's what occurred? Like, cause I think it's mad other lives further than us because everything is living anyway. Like all like this outside stuff that's behind us, like, you know, and then we can see when it's not, like, you know. So it's like, how is it that we're able to differentiate? How you say that word? Differentiate, yeah.
Differentiate.
Yeah, there we go. Between it all, and it's like, and it's funny how we see things as images anyway. So it's I like when
I love that the fact that we can see things like this.
yeah, like we first see it as images, and it's like what you kept saying, like beliefs, right? In my opinion, like that's how everything is. Whatever we believe is what will be. You know what I mean? Like literally, whatever you believe, and that's even goes down to people's religions and shit. And like when they talk about the Christians, in my opinion, I feel as though there's a source that's where the power came from that gave me this and planted in my vessel. And I just believe that that this is a vessel that I choose to show up and create and do things too. Like I tell people, when I dress and when I do things, like they like, oh, why are you doing it? Because this is how I wanted to. This is my character. This is who I choose to present to you, and this is what I want to do with me. This is I control this part of me, like, you know. So it's like, or like how you got into like how you broke that shit down, like with the whole Big Bang, and it's like if you just spill some coffee, like what if we are doing what already was. But it's like when you say about fate though, to so get to fate, and like I think or you could correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but what I was taking from that was like you believe that it can change being as though um whomever is the pioneer of it, the steerer of it, like your fate is going to be whatever it is depending on how you steer.
Yeah, it's like, let's say like you just hop on a boat and you got no real destination. You just, I'm gonna drive the boat. I'm gonna drive the boat, and wherever you arrive to, that's your fate. It's not you already had a set destination. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
Wherever
but
you are, a storm could make you turn somewhere else.
it
You know what I'm
could,
saying?
but arguably the boat already going to Japan, bro. So I mean, you might not have known that. So fate, this is what I was thinking. Fate could come from lack of knowledge too. Like you could be ignorant, doing the right thing, but your lack of knowledge doing it with the wrong people around. Fate. You need
So is it knowledge or awareness?
that's good too. I like that. Awareness is key. Awareness is key. I like that.
Don't know because we chose. You know, we not anyway. And I did it like that. I like when like conversations just flow, and I like that went where it went, and it was like, you know, I was hoping that, like I told you, I like when I do these. I like to like, and everybody know that watching. Like I like to just, I don't like to come in with any scripts. I like for things to be like nobody knows the question. 9 times out of 10, the topic but me. And I don't know what you're going to respond. I don't know what you're going to say. So I can't control any of that. All we can do is just build and grow. From any of our conversations, it's all opinionated too. Like nobody here saying that we're experts or we just speaking from our experiences. And to me, that's the beauty of
Like,
faith and free will. God made us in His likeness.
I mean, that just rung to me when you said we are able. Just that right there. We are
Right,
able. We are able.
We are, and we are able.
Just like that right there. That's how I'm
So
willing.
it's
I'm
like
able.
whatever for real, like this is the honest to God truth, and this is just from and then when I say that, I mean that from my standpoint and my experience, right? No matter what you've done or did or were in life, if you didn't like any of it or you're not satisfied with any of it on where the journey is going, at any fucking point, you could be like, nope, this isn't it, this isn't what I want, and change it. And it's like nothing stopping you from it besides you. And it's sometimes it is the knowledge. It's the knowledge that we have. So it's like because we know so much and we've experienced so much, we connected to so much. So then when we connected to so much, we psych ourselves out and we start talking to ourselves in our head and we have that voice. And sometimes we're like, something told me that it wasn't something, it was you. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff is within us. Yeah. And it's like we could lift up our feet, we could move. Like I said this before, like we can do all these things because we want to. Like we're not sitting here moving because somebody's telling us to move our arms. There's no puppet. So why do so many things in life we do by default? Because we were taught these things. But when did we agree upon these things? That we were taught. You know what I mean? It's okay that others have these agreements in their beliefs. But if you don't believe it, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody is out here living this thing called the virtual life that we're living. It's all a dream for all of us. Some of us go deeper on these dreams sometimes, in my opinion, depending on if you want and you can, like, but it's like, it's all just what we see. We never could tell our story as fully what we picture in our head to someone, even with the words that we got. But we just choose these words that connect it.
Remember I was telling you about all the things that we had, like all connected and stuff. Yeah. I be trying to explain them, like, and it's like, every time I try to explain, I always say the same things. Like, I wish I could just show you the dream. I could re-see it, see it again. And even trying to explain it, it's not the truest form. The truest form when I experience
what you
experience. Now all I'm saying is the way I can, like, only that you're hearing is me trying to explain it as best as I can.
And my comeback could be me trying to relate it to one of my dreams. I'm not able to comprehend your dream. Then I want to do something.
The only thing you can do is try to, like, how can I take this and compare it or mix it in with what I already know?
Yeah, what you know.
Do y'all believe telepathy exists? Telepathy?
What you think? He took a big side here. I don't know.
Set up, took a slide.
That's another thing too. We might have to just pass the mics around too. Actually, now that I thought about it, so that we can make sure. Because I want to make sure we getting all this great. But watch how you you just hold it regular. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
So, what's your definition of telepathy?
All right, so my mind thinking of a certain situation or a certain genre or something, but you saying it as in like correlation, like they just correlate.
So, I can't speak on telepathy. I can say, for me personally, I've been around somebody long enough to understand what they think, what I don't have to say sometimes. A lot of times I think, because somehow I feel like I can make a connection with an animal easily. I can't speak on why.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you good, bro. Take some of that water, bro.
Water right here. Don't want nobody. Don't want nothing happening on set. He is responsible for himself. Nah, but go ahead.
so maybe the connection I'm making with certain creatures without having to speak to them, understanding them in a certain way, maybe that's a form. I don't know for real.
Non-verbal. Back, I'm gonna rephrase my question. Non-verbal communication.
Okay, well, I feel like that's automatic. That ain't even a debatable subject. Communicate with each other. All type of ways.
Because our energies, in my opinion, our energies are so powerful, like to the point that even if you try to deny it, it still is. Like that's the thing. Like it still is, you know. And it's like you ever go in a room with people like that just probably was arguing, they're still being themselves. You know what I mean? but you could feel like, something wasn't right before I got in here. But you see them, you still visioning them as their normal selves, how they act around you. But you feel,
Smell it.
yeah, it's like you can
Smell
sense it.
it.
Like something was off before I came in here. And it's like, cause energies is like, it's so like, it's so real and so like potent. Yeah, I like that word.
So you feel energy?
Like me, like I can't say like I can go and like I can't really speak from experience by going to a room and feeling energy. To me, I don't really go into a room full of people. You know what I'm saying? But me, I can feel energy from like one person. Like somebody got like an attitude or something wrong. I can tell. Like it's like, and me, if I can tell, I want to know why. Cause like it's like if you're feeling some way, that's how your energy gonna be pushed out.
Yeah,
And you feel negative about one thing that has nothing to do with me, your
that's what
energy
you want to
pushed towards
receive.
me negatively.
Okay,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I feel like it's the same way with me. Like if I'm feeling irritated by something, unknowingly it's gonna be pushed towards somebody else. Unknowingly. But I can't really speak from walking. I gotta sit there and think about walking to a room full of people. So,
It don't even gotta be full of people. I'm just saying anybody, like anybody, like anytime you ever let me see that joint real quick so I can make sure we all get in. But like anytime, pardon yourself, yo, but anytime like you're interacting with anybody that you're ever interacting with or like anything, like like even if it's like what you were saying, like with the animals, like I believe like I think we're all connected, including those animals too. You know what I mean? Including the grass that we walk on, including the trees. That's why I be telling people you should get out on trees more.
I feel like it's automatic that everything is connected.
Yeah.
I mean, you come from the ground, made of the zinc, the calcium.
Yeah, like it's
That's
like
what makes up your body.
yeah. So it's like, and it's like I think like like when you like how I say this, like when you the more you are in tune with those things, it's like you become aligned with things. So if you start syncing with things, so your alignment with things and you start attracting different things, you know what I mean? The things that you are aligned with. Like I say this frequently. I say this frequently, like same and I forget where I even got this from. But I say this all the time. It's like a lot of us we forget that we all are listening to this. We have the same radio, but we listen to different stations. That's so like you know what I mean? Like it's the same radio, but we just have different stations. Some of us we may get on the same stations. Some of us are still we're hearing some of it. You know when you fine tuning it, like how yeah, like so it's like it's just of those frequent vibrations and those energies that's like amongst us, and it's like you attract what you are. You know what I mean?
It's like, all right, I'm around this, but do I want to stay around this? No. Is this what I want? No. Like you were saying earlier, at any moment in our life, we get up, and say no.
Yeah.
This is not what I want.
So it was a point in my life, right, where running.
But it be our awareness.
So it was a point in my life, right, where I didn't have the same amount of discipline or willpower to like push my way towards my goals. Then I would say for myself, only for myself personally, the people that I met and some of the experiences I went through, like partially you know what I'm saying, y'all know the military and all that shit. That and like my grandparents and all that shit, they like push me further than I personally realized that I could go. So the act of them pushing me actually gave me more willpower in my perspective to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to go harder, you feel me? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's my perspective on, you know what I'm saying?
I think like people gotta like I think that still was somewhere you made the choice of you wanting that because just like with like right when we plant seeds, right? You could plant a lot of seeds. Some of them you plant them the same exact way. Some of them grow, some of them don't. You know what I mean? So it's like it's up to like it wanting to, and then sometimes it grows later on. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't grow at that moment because it's up to it if it's ready to, if it's ready, if it feels like it's that right season, yeah, that right moment for it to be that. So it's like somewhere somebody can still influence you. So because of that, like you want to do different and you want to see different, you want these things, and it's like you may not be expressing it as this is what I want, but your actions is proving that that's what you want because you restored that, and that gave you some type of what you said is the willpower to continue on and want to do those things, like you know what I mean, and want to be whoever it is that you are, like you know what I mean.
I agree. You gotta want to be better to even receive
Yeah,
that.
like you know what I mean, and it's like and better, like even better is like
I mean, whatever.
whatever. Yeah, like no. I'm no. And then it's like even that, like it's just like it's like whatever that is exactly on. That's what I was gonna say. It's whatever that is that you see for you in those moments, because it's like it's been times where I thought my worst was my worst, and then I had another worst, and I'm like, oh no, this is definitely my worst. But then there was times where I thought my best was my best, and I'm like, then I had another best, and I'm like, oh, this is definitely my best. You know what I mean? So it's like
It's all about growth. Like as
yeah,
you grow.
whatever's for you, like you know what I mean. And it's like it's literally for you, and it's like some things we're taught doesn't mean that that's what we have to believe. Like you know, doesn't mean that that's what we believe. You know what I mean? It's like that's okay for other people to have those opinions and those beliefs.
Because what you're taught
But
is wouldn't let it be somebody's perspective, right?
exactly,
So
exactly. And you never agreed upon, like even down to colors. When we teach kids colors, and it's like, what if they don't see it that way?
I always thought that
We now
like,
say that they're colorblind. We label them as these things. We are just in a society where we have to have labels to become justifications of things, because there's so many things and so many thoughts and so many experiences, instead of everybody just being like, okay, this is that person's experience. What am I upset at them for? Like, you know, and it's like we're all here trying to be. Everybody wants. The funny thing is, everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be loved. I don't care who the fuck you are. Everybody wants to be loved. To the point, if a baby smile at y'all, right? A baby, y'all don't even know this baby. What will y'all do back to the baby?
wow, be
You gonna smile at the baby? What would you do?
scared of baby. You gonna jump at
I
it?
don't know. Depending on how I
If
feel at
if
the
a
time.
baby smile at you, a baby you just walking by and a baby smile at you, what you gonna do?
I'm telling you right now, it depends on how I feel at the time.
Come on, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Your actual your rational, everybody's emotions is it's gonna happen. Even if you gonna do a smirk, you're gonna smile. It's just natural. You know why? Because our inner selves is connecting with that. Our inner child, we all have it. Is connecting with that baby, and that baby only knows love.
I got a question.
It's connecting with love.
All right, you said our inner soul is
I
connected
hear
with
what
that.
you saying, and I mostly agree with what you say, but sometimes I might want to fuck with the baby. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you won't. I'm not saying that you won't, but for you to even get the feeling of you felt love is my whole point. You felt that moment of that baby is nothing. That baby has nothing but you felt love. You felt the initiative you felt the openness for the baby to even feel like you can even whether you fuck with it or not. Like you know what I mean. You still felt a moment where it's like something like is everybody. The thing is like we all know what love feel like.
That's why I got a question. I got a question. So you said, hey, you said like our love or whatever is like connected with our inner child, right? What would you say about people that didn't have a childhood? A childhood wasn't they weren't groomed with love. Let's say they was around like
That's
hate
I did a topic on that, growing up on love or survival.
better question is what is love?
Right. And that's what I be saying. Like that's the thing. Like yeah. Yeah. I want to hear that. I want to hear what you think love is. That's a great question.
Love?
While you getting there, let me make sure this joint's going for this. What is love? Yes, go ahead.
All right, what is love? I feel like love is one of the most up in the, everything's up in the air. It's up in the air. It's incomplete. It's like it will never be perfect. A lot of people say they love, like love is like being in love is you feel like you with the perfect person. No, when it comes to me, I feel like being being loved and being loved or showing love, having love between you and somebody. You don't gotta be in love to be loved. I feel like it has a lot to do with imperfection. Like it has a lot to do with imperfection. It's so hard to explain. I gotta think like, what is love?
What do you think love is?
it's like it's really going it's really piggybacking off of what he's saying. Like it's like those tiny cracks. You love those tiny cracks in the mirror. Like when the mirror cracked, and you like, damn, I don't like this right now. I don't know, it look ugly, ain't. But you love it. Like I think that's what love is. Like you love the imperfection. Like so even if I wasn't me, you still love me. Like if I didn't know who I was, you love who I was. Cause you'll still be who you is, but you just ain't know.
I'll say I don't have a complete perspective on what love is, but my partial thought is I feel like in a sense, it's the willingness to just appreciate somebody
Something.
through or something despite its faults in your mind.
All about imperfection. Like I don't. Like I keep bringing imperfection. 'Cause I feel like nobody's perfect. No, nothing's perfect.
You know,
nothing. So nothing can revolve around perfection.
That's what I was getting ready to say to you though. This I was gonna say to y'all. Like I was like, for real. It's this book like that just really like tweaked my mind. And it was like, what if we're wrong? What if we're all perfect? Right? Because here's the thing, like who else would you pick to be you? If you weren't perfect, who could be you then? Who would you pick to be
Nobody
you?
can be anybody.
Okay, so it's like you are perfect within you. So it's like, what if you weren't perfect? What else are you trying to be? If you like, what else is it you're trying to be then? Who else is it you're trying to be? If you aren't perfect, like what else is it that you're striving for? It's different if you want to have different things for yourself, but it's still an inner thing. It's an inner self thing. So it's like we all are uniquely perfect, and that's the thing. And it's okay that we all are perfect. So it's like even with that, in my opinion now, what I see love as is like it's not about loving someone it's like it's loving yourself and it's just being. In my opinion, I think love is just being. It's like when you just literally be, it could be silence, it could be nothing, it could be like it's just being. It's being. And it is also non-being in a lot of ways.
So what do it mean when you say, not to cut you off?
No, I like that. Go ahead.
But what do it mean when I'm saying hey, I love you? So what's your definition on that?
And you know what I say? I love when people now I tell people that and it's because I know my intentions mean I love same way I would kiss my food now. I will kiss anything that I'm about to put in my body, anything that I'm about to I love you. Because love is love. So I would say back to you, I love you as well. That would be my response to you. And I would feel like, I'd have warmed my heart because I'm like, damn, they're just being in a sense of love. You're being in love. You're being in a sense of just love. That doesn't have nothing to do with me. It's just you being in a sense of love. It's telling me that you are being. And it's just like, yes, I'm being too. Like I resonate with that. So I love you as well. Like love is love. I feel like we put so much labels on it and we make it a weird gesture because of how simple it is and how deep that one connection is really to amongst all of us and everything. You know what I mean? Like you could love the grass that you walk on. You could love the things. So it's like when we start putting all these like, oh no, it's weird to like why when did love become weird?
All right, so to go back to earlier when y'all mentioned like basically being on the same page, like defining words and like agreeing on what each word means. Like I feel like this is like one of them scenarios. I feel like we gotta come to a census or an agreement, at least an agreement on what we feel like the word love means, so that we could be on the same page. Because if I tell this man I love him, what does that mean to him? You know what I'm saying? It might, to him, love might be nothing. You feel me? So if I tell him I love him
And what was the point? You know what I'm saying? I had an
But
intention, but he didn't receive it because
but
we didn't see the same. We didn't see eye to eye
but
on
that's
what.
okay. That's okay if he in that moment he didn't, because
So
your intentions still was just to your intentions were your intentions, and nothing can, truth is truth. It's still going to come to be truth. You don't got to do nothing else but still be, your intentions are your intentions, so it's going to be felt. You know what I mean? Regardless of if it resonated with him then or now, no matter what, when it go back to it, your intentions were what it was. That was your, yeah.
so my purpose is to connect with this person.
Uh-huh.
That means I want to try and find a way
Right. And
to
maybe
connect. So
if even if that wasn't the moment to connect, it's still because your intentions and that's what you put in the universe. What I believe is the universe is going to give it back. And sometimes it doesn't have to be in that split moment. It could be in that moment when it finally was received. Because it's like, again, when we're watering these, we want these things to grow in the time frame that it says that it's going to grow and things like that. But when it doesn't, it's like it is what it is. You know what I mean? And but when it's ready, when we still love it when it does grow, you know. And it's like when it still is ready to receive the nutrients and the nutritions and your time, all your energy that you was put into it, you still love it. You don't stop being you. It still doesn't change you from who you were and what your intentions were, because it's still going to have to resonate, because when it filters back for that person, they're going to be like, you know what, damn, what if that's what this may have been. And then if you're still on the same loving frequency, they're going to tune into, oh, that's what this radio station really was saying. Now we're seeking this, we're on the same thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, even if he wasn't ready to receive it and that's not his way of getting it, it's still okay. It's still okay for you to still go on and be who you are and still put it out the same way.
I hear all that, and I also agree with that. But also, this is how my brain works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I want to grow a tree,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit there and I'm going to figure out and I'm going to try different things and I'm going to do everything that it takes to grow this tree if that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I understand that while I'm growing this tree, because I never grew this tree before or whatever, I I may run into issues. I may run into things I didn't foresee.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. It might something might come in off the random, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But I want to grow this tree, so in my brain, because I want to grow this tree, I'm gonna put the time and energy into growing this tree. I know that it might take time. The something I do might cause something negative to happen, and then I might have to try and get back somehow or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if it's in my mind to grow this tree, then it only mathematically makes sense to me to do everything it takes to grow this tree.
Right. And but that also has to be everything. And if that's what you really want, then you're gonna, it's still your intentions on going after it and doing it, because if this is what you really want, you're going to still make sure that everything within you is putting out everything for that to be, because it will be, you know what I mean? Because it's like the tree's going to grow. If you are trying to learn everything, you're going to go out and you're going to seek it, right? So when you start seeking, a lot of things that we're seeking is seeking us too. So once we start seeking it and we become aligned with it, it starts being. You don't got, it's less effort that you wind up having to put into it. The tree might start showing you different things, like on the outside of what you wasn't even realizing and expecting. You know what I mean? Because it's like your energy is to receive and to learn and to understand how this tree is to grow. You know what I mean? Because you don't have any knowledge of it, so you don't have any teachers of it. So now you have to go out and seek. So through your seekings, when you really want it, it's gonna become everything that it shall be. It's like it just happens, because same way with the vice versa. If you don't really want it, then it don't happen. You know what I mean? We all know that. We all been in situations of that outcome with anything in life, of growing anything in life, doing anything in life. If we really didn't want it, it wasn't there. But when we really wanted it, it's like, oh, to the point when we feel it, you feel it. Like, when it happens, it's like everybody else may feel it like, oh, yes, you like, of course, like, because you had that feeling, you already knew. You know what I mean? Because you already knew what you were doing. You already created this. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of times I feel like that's what I'm saying. We're so worried about everyone else and everything else that it's like we don't understand that as long as we continue to be, everything that's supposed to be is going to vibrate with us and it's going to be with us. You know what I mean? It's nothing that we can do. We can't alter anyone or anything. Grass, when it grows, it doesn't, when a tree moves up, when it grows up, it doesn't say, oh, do you think the tree next door is going to feel, how do you think the tree's going to feel about me moving in today? It doesn't fucking care. It grows and it makes space. When the grass grows, when we step on this shit, it's not like, you see them coming again. Do you think we should break low? No, it's going to be like, it's not like, do I look good today? No, it's going to fucking grow and it's going to still fucking be. And next year, it's going to happen and it's going to do the same thing. No matter what plea come through here, where anything happens, it's still going to be. You know what I mean? It's not worried about any other things. And it's like, we're all just like these living things. And it's like dogs, animal, all these things, we put so much separation amongst them. But a lot of without all these things, we wouldn't be. So it's like I think sometimes we just worry about like we internally we worry about us, but we externally reflect like we externally really worry about it. If that makes sense.
I like how you put that, but I especially like the part where you said it. What you said, a plant ain't worried about the
Yeah,
next plant.
yeah, the
Just
tree it's just gonna
growing.
be. It's not like, hey, yo, you think George? I wonder if they even got name. You think George's gonna care about? We just had a baby. You
That was
think George's
crazy.
gonna care that the plant? No, George is gonna move the fuck over and be like, hey, by the way, make sure that your synthesis are in tune with us right now. And can you feel they're gonna actually give off more radius? And why you think they cutting more trees and shit down? Trees are so important. They cutting that shit down, and each tree once you cut one down, if it was another one that was already weak, ready to go down, it's gonna go down because in a 5 yard radius, it fills it. It sends off those waves like, hey, one is down. It has to prepare for the next. That's what it does to prepare. It tells it that it's down. Hey, by the way, this is coming your way, so that prepare. It sends off positive waves. Hey, prepare so that you can withstand what's happening. These bugs are now here. Prepare. So when now those bugs enter there, the bugs is like, you can't even affect me. I was already prepared. People already shined their lights on me and told me you was coming. I'm ready. You know what I mean? It's like it's that love. You know what I mean? It spread that love. It didn't ask for nothing. It just be.
So, do you not think that plants communicate with each other?
Oh no, I do think they communicate with it. I do think that they communicate with each other, but what I'm saying, what they communicate is more of a growth mechanism. It's nothing on a deterioration in it, and it's like when anything that's
Wait, wait,
deteriorating.
wait, wait, wait. Run it back real quick.
I said that I do think that they communicate with each other,
Uh-huh.
but I feel as though the communication is always on a growth mechanism, like on a growth wave. It's never on anything that's to doubt or diminish or to downplay or to like make anything of a decomposition of itself.
Right. So if you
Yeah,
could,
deteriorate. I don't think it does that. Like I think things happens within its environment, so then it has to things have to happen. You know what
all
I mean,
right.
for it to be.
So, all right. So if you was to explain to a baby
Mm-hmm.
how this tree told this tree that too many deer are eating all the leaves, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to create some type of poison in order to make them eat less of our plants or
Uh-huh.
less of our leaves so we can survive. If you was to explain that to a baby, or not
I feel like
something that
yeah, I about to say, I
on
feel like
lesser
you
level,
kind
you know what
of.
I'm saying?
I actually feel like that was explained. That was explained well. I feel as though a child knows what trees are. A child knows what poison is. Um, and or if you don't want to use the word poison, toxics or whatever you use to create
I was
the
hoping.
the the words of not not great. I think you explained that well, and it created a borderline for it because it did it. Same way if we were in any danger, our fight or flight will kick in. You know what I mean? And I think like if we are not in control of those things, if we're not aware of those things could get out of control. And if that's what if poison wind up getting out of control, that's what happened. Things got out of control because not everyone was aware of it.
So how did that tree talk to that tree? Is my question.
Through its synthesis, through its roots in the ground.
So through the connection.
Yeah.
So
And through its energies, like literally its synthesis, the energies and the frequencies and vibrations that it gave off. So literally through its vibrations and frequencies, in my
how do
opinion.
humans connect?
I feel as though we all connect the same way.
So through vibes and the words we say.
And yeah, like through vibrations, words, and frequencies. I guess you could say like the words is because words are it's just the vibrations of our it comes out because of the vibrations of our voice and the frequencies of our tones and things like that. So it's like, so I think it's through our vibrations and our frequencies.